Today, I want to talk about this matter. This matter, gun to wà lórí ẹ̀mí mi báyìí. Ó wà lórí ẹ̀mí mi. Yeah. Ẹ̀yin tèmi báwo ni o ṣe wà? Lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ ṣe wà? Yeah, welcome to my channel. Yeah, I just had to sing that song. I don't know why, but I had to. Yeah, see my face looking so stressed. I've not had good sleep because I had food orders yesterday and all of those things, so I had to meet up and do stuff. So I'm a little bit stressed, but because of my love for you, I'm here to do the video. Let's get serious. Welcome to my channel, everybody. Welcome to Ajo with Kemisola. Grateful for your subscriptions, for your likes, for sharing, for turning on your notification button. It's an amazing privilege, and I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for everything that you do. I'm grateful. My last video, I spoke about my first trimester, about how I went through loads and loads of issues. Yeah, and I mentioned it in that video that I'm going to be doing something different from pregnancy journey this time around. I'm going to be talking on something different, like something outside the box of the pregnancy journey and all of that. So today, I want to talk about this matter. This matter, gun to wà lórí ẹ̀mí mi báyìí. Ó wà lórí ẹ̀mí mi. Yeah, like it's been on my mind, like it's been a topmost, topic in my heart to talk about, in my mind to talk about it. And it's this issue of, emotional intelligence and relationship dynamics. Like, for me, I think emotional intelligence and relationship dynamics is kind of interwoven. It's kind of interwoven because I feel it's the lack of knowledge about relationship dynamics is what makes some people is what portrays some people as being not emotionally intelligent, or being not emotionally intelligent. I think that's it. And I think the understanding, the deep understanding, the awareness, the I don't know the big English to use, pardon me, the big awareness, the in-depth awareness, yes, of relationship dynamics, it makes you, to be able to relate with people in their own forms and in their own different ways. And I think that is relationship dynamics, understanding relationship dynamics. Now, what do I mean by relationship dynamics? What I mean is, everyone is not the same thing to you. Do you understand? Relationships are different. Do you understand my point? There's a way, if your mom is your pastor, or how do I call it now? If your older sister or your younger sister is your pastor, there's a way you behave to the person being a pastor. There's a way you behave to the person as your brother. There's a way you behave to the person as somebody that is overseeing a church. Do you understand? Like, this is what we call relationship dynamics. Do you understand my point? This is not being double-faced. No, this is not being two-faced. This is not being hypocritical, but this is understanding relationship dynamics, understanding how to handle people in different spheres, how to handle people in different relationships. That's what I'm saying. You can have a best friend, somebody very close to you, a bestie, somebody that you can slap his head anyhow, somebody that you can, push and say, come on, kill and one here. You can have that kind of relationship with somebody. But take, for example, if the person is the lead pastor of a church, or is a pastor of a church, and you attend service that day, that's not the time for you to say, no, it's not in that kind of environment. That's what I'm talking about. Relationship dynamics. Like, relationship dynamics is not know how to behave, know when to adjust, know when to say what, know who to say what to, know when to say what to who. Do you understand? That is relationship dynamics. People constantly, evolve in life. Take, for example, if you give birth to a child today, in the next 25 years, you don't address this child the way you are addressing her right now. I'm not saying we don't respect little children. No, you respect everyone. It's good to respect everybody, both great and old, both young and old. It's good to respect everybody, both the middle class, the low class, the high class. It's good to respect people. Yes, I feel like respecting people and honoring people is an act of kindness. That's what I feel. I feel like if you are kind, you will respect people, you will know how to treat people. So now what I'm now saying is, aside general respect and all of those things, the way you treat a 2-year-old child, the way you talk to a 2-year-old child, your 2-year-old child, is not the way you will relate to the child when the child is 25 years old. Do you understand? The way you can, I'm not saying you correct in love. Every child you correct in love. Please get me right and don't misquote me. But what I'm saying is, there are stages. You need to understand that people evolve. Even your own children, they evolve. I remember that my mom, there's something my mom does to us, although me, I don't like it, but yeah, it's a statement of honor. Immediately you get married, my mommy hardly calls you your name anymore. She was like, yeah, báwo ni ṣó wà? Do you understand? Like, yeah, how are you? Hope you are good. Do you understand? Immediately you give birth, tell my mother not to call you by your child's name. Lie, you. My mother does not listen. She will say that's her own way of showing respect to us on another level. So you hear something like, when she wants to ask after my husband now, she'll be like, Abasikon, it means, how is Baba doing? I'm like, Ebuka lengpe ni Baba, please, my husband is still young. He said, yes, I know he's young, but just as my sons, as I call them Baba, that's how he's Baba to me. Please, let me respect him like that. That's my own way of showing you guys that I love you and I honor you. So that's what I'm talking about when I say relationship dynamics. People don't stay the same way. Do you understand? The way you treat your friend that you are sitting down together today, that you are drinking garri together, if that your friend becomes a president, I'm not saying you still cannot drink garri together, but you get, yeah, so you understand what I'm saying? You get, so that is relationship dynamics. And the absence of this is what I call absence of emotional intelligence. And also, let's leave that respect part. Let's go to the emotional part of this thing we call emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence is actually diverse. It's actually very, very diverse. So let's go to this emotional part of this thing called emotional intelligence. It's important. So you that you have friend that is looking up to God for something or praying to God for something, I'm not saying you should begin to step on eggshell. Do you understand? You have boyfriend. You have a friend that is even older than you that does not have boyfriend yet. That's when you start saying, do you know my boyfriend bought me Prado? Do you know my boyfriend bought me jeans yesterday? Do you know my boyfriend bought me Shaki? Do you know my boyfriend took me to Ola Mommy? Do you know my boyfriend took me to Istanbul restaurant? Kilo day. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel comfortable about your friends, because we too as friends, the person too as a friend, or we too as friends to people who probably have what we don't yet have, we should be comfortable. We should make them comfortable for them to be able. We should make them comfortable, and they should be able to discuss anything with us. It shouldn't be something that will not make us envious or jealous or something. But you as a person, you have a responsibility to make the person feel okay and feel welcome. That's not the time to start. I'm not saying you cannot share friends. I have friends that are in different spheres with me, and we relate on so many things. I have friends that are not married, and we talk about marriage even though they are not married. And I also have friends that have children that are older than my children and they talk to me about stuffs. But what I'm trying to say is, know when to say what. It's not when the person is down and say, agree with me, I'm praying, I'm really believing God for a very good husband. That's when I say, do you know, if you see what Ebuka did for me yesterday, that is lack of emotional intelligence. There are times for all those type of talks. Study the mood of the person you are talking to. Know when to say what to who. That's how we say it. Know when to say what to who. Know it. It's important. It's important. Even for your friends that you're even in the same space, it's not every time that you can say some particular things to people. It's not all the time. This thing I'm saying, me myself, yes, me myself is Yoruba English. Yes, I'm a Yoruba girl. Me myself, I've fallen victim of these things I'm talking about. It's not like I'm perfect. It's not like I know everything about emotional intelligence, but I'm trying my best. There are times I will say something, I'll be like, I shouldn't have said that to that person. That was wrong. That will hit that person differently. There are times that I will now use style to want to cover up for what I've said. Do you understand? I will say something to make the person understand that I don't mean that thing that way. But I will not open my mind and say I don't mean that thing that way, because that can even make the person now. Maybe the person did not even realize what you said before. That can even call the attention of the person to the negative part of what you said. But there's a way you can try to, coin in some statements that, we annul that stuff. Do you understand? So, let's know what to say to who, when is important. It is important. What to say to who at a particular time is very, very, very important. And I think that's the basic thing about emotional intelligence. That's the basic thing about emotional. Know your space in people's lives. That's another thing. Let me talk like British now. That's another thing. You need to know where you belong in people's life. If they've not put you in that space, don't promote yourself there. Stay where they put you. When it comes to relationship, it depends on you, but it depends greatly on the other person. You have to put yourself in the shoes of that person. There are some information that if you don't know it, is because you are not in that particular space. You don't have access. You don't have that access. Do you understand? You don't have that access. If you are in that space, you won't have to ask. They will tell you. Then there's some things that you can ask somebody by the virtue of the position that you occupy. You know that you can ask. But it's not like somebody has not put you here. Question to get paid. It's only people that are extremely close that are supposed to be asking such questions. Know your place in people's lives. It is good. It is a big sign of being emotionally intelligent. Like I said, I have friends and they're at different levels. All my friends are important to me, but I know the space I occupy in my friends' lives and I know the space they occupy in my lives. There are friends that are close to me right now that if something happened to me, they probably will not be the first person I will call about that issue. Not because they are not important to me, it's because that's not the space they occupy to me. There's another person that occupies that space that I can tell, and I can be able to differentiate that, okay, is this person that can speak into this space right now that I'm in? I don't know if you understand me. So when you there are some friends that you don't mind your business with because you guys are very close, and you are that person that is like, it's like their reset button too. Yes, they are friends like that. They are friends that you can invade their spaces. Do you get my point? Not disrespectfully invading their space, but there are friends that you might have to call out. You might have to reach out to them when they are down, that you are in that space for. But there are some people that you are not in that space. You are not in that space. It's just like some people slide into my DM to say some things, and I'm like, I just like better love and kiss. Why did we start this love that we started kiss? When? You don't belong there. Don't put yourself there. Do you understand? If you don't belong somewhere, don't assume that you are there. And emotional intelligence is it can be very complicated actually, because at the same time, don't leave your responsibility as a friend and say I don't care, it doesn't matter. There are times that your friends sincerely probably they want you in that place, but what they are going through is overshadowing them that they cannot even remember that they will have to bring you to that space. If you know that you are in that space in that person's life, reach out to the person. So that's what I'm saying. Relationship dynamics. Oh, shake pataki. Oh, shake koko. Oh, shake koko. It's shake pataki. It's important. Yeah. In Britain, we say it's important. Britain. Sorry. Don't mind me. I'm a Nigerian girl. So it's really, really, really important that we know the space we occupy in people's lives, what we can speak into, who to tell what at what time. I don't know if we understand. So these are the things that builds our emotional intelligence. It builds our emotional intelligence. There are some people that you don't talk to in a manner. Do you understand? The fact that you have access to something safe sometimes does not mean that you should misuse it. People have misused access because they lack emotional intelligence. They lack it. They just open their mouth and they say anything. They run it. They say anything. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to keep. They don't know what not to say. It is important because emotional intelligence, it brings access. You will see that people will say, ọmọ yẹn ó lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, well trained. Honestly, if you look at what people call well trained and being mannerless, it is emotional intelligence and lack of emotional intelligence. They will say it's well trained. I remember that. I had this, I don't want to mention, my supervisor during my master's degree. Here, they don't send you. All this white people, they don't send you your professors. They will tell you, call me by my name and all of that. And actually, they don't mind. They want you to call them by their names, and they're okay with it. My dear, I never called my supervisor by name. I was surprised when this man was running comments and he said, Kemi Sohola was saying stuff about me. And I'm like, so yeah, okay, you two, you like the fact that I'm that I'm respecting you, that I put on. You like it. So, emotional intelligence is very, very important. It is very, very important. When you're emotionally intelligent, it brings respect. It makes people accord so much respect to you because they know that you will not just open your mouth and say things. They know that before you say things, you must have thought things through. And one of the questions that come to people's mind is, okay, you are talking about emotional intelligence. What about people that you just met for the first time? How do you converse? That is why it's good for you to observe. It's good for you, especially as a child of God, you must be discerning. You need discernment spirit. You need that discerning spirit to have emotional intelligence. You must be discerning. You must learn to, read your environment. You must learn to be sensitive to your environment. You must learn to, pick things that are said and things that are unsaid. Because things that are unsaid, there are some of my friends that I can tell off. I can tell them off and say, why did you do that? Don't do that. It's wrong. I will fight. We'll talk about it. There are some of my friends that when I want to talk to them about something that I think they are doing wrong, I pray specially about it. And I pray that the opportunity should present itself, that I'll be able to see it. Because I know that my friends can take words than the other. The word you say to this person, you can say to the other person and it will break the person instead of helping to mold the person. That is learning emotional intelligence. And if you must occupy a very sensitive and good position in people's lives, if you must occupy that place of influence in people's lives, if you are somebody that God is building to have influence, if you are somebody of influence and you lack emotional intelligence, it's just a matter of time. Jabo, then sorry. People will mock you. They will say, you don't know that one. Moroso does not know how to talk, says anything to anybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? Emotional intelligence is key. And another thing I want to say about emotional intelligence is people now think that because emotional intelligence is important and is being spoken to, they think it's a way of being hypocritical, or they think it's a way for you not to tell the truth to people. No, emotional intelligence is not telling people lies. It's knowing when to tell people things and how to present it. That's emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence does not mean you should sugarcoat what is not good and say it is good. That's not emotional intelligence too. That is deception. That is using style to lie. Don't lie. Emotional intelligence is not lying. Emotional intelligence is knowing when to present what and who to present it to. And knowing who you want to present what to. Do you understand? If you want to present something, there are some people that when you want to present what they are doing that is not really nice to them, there's a way you put it. Even when you want to pass compliments, there are ways of passing compliments that people will really accept the compliments. Not that you pass compliment and the person will think, "I'll be really insulting me." Do you understand? That's to tell you the importance, not importance. Not, okay. My husband is always correcting me on that H factor. The importance of emotional intelligence is really, really, really important. It's important in the business space. It's important in the church. It's important in marriage, in homes. It is important. The way some people will tell their spouses off, they don't mean it that way, but they don't have emotional intelligence. They can tell their husband, shut up in town. Oh, me near there. It doesn't mean they don't love, but they feel that's what I should say at that time. It's wrong. You have to be emotionally intelligent. And if you are not sensitive to your environment, it will affect your level of emotional intelligence. Take for example, somebody has just given birth. Somebody has just put to bed, but we call it giving birth. You should understand. The person has spent, maybe the person is on maternity leave like me now. Spend 1 month, 2 months after me. Already ask her, when are you now starting work? Abba man, Abba. If you are in that space, you will know when the person is starting work. The person will even tell her, quick, you know, by the virtue of being close, by the virtue of access, you will get to know some things. If you are not in that space, stop asking. Stop putting people under unnecessary pressure. As the person comes to ask you money for food, is the person suffering and you're not thinking that instead of you asking me money for food, Kukuma go and resume work. So there are some questions, there are some sensitive questions, and there is a way of asking such questions. You understand? You can say this one that the whole while of taking care of this baby is on your neck. How are you coping? Bring about conversations. How are you coping? How many months is even your maternity leave over there? That's when you will start talking. Not that just say, when are you not even resuming work? The person has taken you say, hey, long. What's your own? What's your own? What's your own? I've heard if some of my friends complain to me about that people are just pushing them to go back to work. Do you understand? Be emotionally intelligent. It is important. It is. Like I said, there are some things too that I've said and I'll be like, oh, Kenny, you are not supposed to talk like that. That is being emotionally sharing intelligence. Is there any word like that? That is not being emotionally intelligent. Kemi Sola, don't say that again. It's wrong. And the fact that we can know when we've said something that is wrong and that we shouldn't have said that way, it's even a sign that we are emotionally intelligent. It's a sign that you are moving closer. You are getting better at your emotional intelligence level. You are getting better. But there are people that just say things, they don't even realize maybe it's good or it's bad. You need prayers. Because it means that you are not even self-aware. You don't know what is happening. You don't know what is happening around you. There are people that you say stuff to, their face might change, or their reaction might change, or their disposition to that matter might change, that you will know that what I said actually hit this person the wrong way. If you are not emotionally intelligent, you will not be able to pick these things, and these are things that helps us to build relationships. This is not you people pleasing. No, this is you knowing how to build your relationship carcass. I think I've said a lot today. On this emotional intelligence matter, I will still be coming back. I think this one is enough for today. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share this good news that you are listening to on Ajo with Kemi Sola. Thank you so much for your support. I'm very grateful. Thank you for everything. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your notification buttons that you decide to turn on. If you've not done that, please do. If you've not shared the video with your friends, please share. If you've not liked our video, like it. Go there, share. Thank you so much. Till next time. I'll see you next time.